Oh, there's black gunk.
What year does it say on it?
Yeah, 1980. Wow.
1979 Rookie of the Year Dell.
Oh, you got black stuff down there too.
I'm not drinking it. Race car spelled backwards is still race car. This is the Race Car Spelled Backwards podcast. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brad, and with me, as always, is Jamie, and this is Race Car Spelled Backwards. Jamie, what's going on, my friend?
We ought to change it to the NASCAR hole.
The NASCAR hole?
The NASCAR hole.
No, I don't think we can use the name NASCAR
in
our name.
What about NASHole?
NASCAR has been used.
NASHole.
NASHole?
Yeah, NASHole. Our new podcast. NASHole.
I feel like that's probably been used too.
NASHole?
Yeah.
You think?
I'm sure somebody's put that together at some point in time.
That's what you call a race car driver that doesn't have a sponsor, a NASHole.
A NASHole?
Yeah, that's like Kyle Busch. He's a NASHole.
Oh, he's got sponsors.
Got tons of sponsors now.
Somebody said, I saw on Twitter where they were saying that they're beating down his door now that he's announced he's going to RCR.
Are they all marijuana related?
3Chi?
Yeah.
I wonder if 3Chi will stay with Tyler or will go with Kyle. I don't see Kyle as a good ambassador for 3Chi.
Because he'd be a lot more relaxed.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hey, man.
Kyle's too uptight and high strung and ready to blow. But if you notice the last few weeks, like yesterday when his motor blew up, he didn't just, blow a gasket. He went, calmed down.
Maybe he was on some 3Chi.
Maybe he had some 3Chi.
Richard Childress said, hey, try this. And that's why I was like, hey, guys.
Then he come back out and he's like, yep.
I think the engine blew, man.
He's trying really, really hard not to be mad. Like I was quite impressed by his post-race interview.
Guys, I just need some tasty lug nuts, dude.
So maybe he's chilled out though for the new sponsorship with 3Chi. Otherwise, it's just
maybe he can say, without 3Chi, I'm an asshole.
Without 3Chi, I would have lost my crap. Yeah. He definitely could.
The NASHole garage.
That was big news out of last week. I guess this is our first show since Kyle has announced he's going to RCR. That's kind of... So, like, even when he blew his motor up yesterday, for some reason, I thought because Kyle signed with RCR...
You thought it was Richard Soto's fault?
No, I thought that his image to the fans would somewhat improve. Like, fans' dislike for him would somewhat change. Like, he's going to race for RCR, the same team owner of the Intimidator. I
think he's got his own fans. He's not going to get any Earnhardt fans.
I don't know, man. Like,
did you see Junior pre-race being all cordial with Kyle? Well, I guess they're buddies now.
Well, yeah, they have been since the podcast, I think, when they worked their wreck out from Bristol that time.
I mean, Junior was buttering him up.
I just think Kyle said he asked about the 3. He wanted to drive the 3, and Richard said it wasn't on the table right away.
Well, if you think about the number 8, it's a 3 and then a backwards 3. So it's really 33 makes 8, which today is our 33rd show. What a coincidence.
So if you flip the first 3 around.
Watch, I'll make it for you. See, you got 33, 3,
I'm not 8.
And then a 3, 8.
That looks ganky, but...
It's a NASHole.
It's a NASHole?
It's a double NASHole. Look, there's one hole, there's another. Oh, they're boobies.
It's a NASHole.
Look, then it turned into breast.
We've officially derailed at, where are we at now? Like 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in, we've already derailed.
Is this note on my show card here, go pee, is that for me or for you?
That's for you.
Oh, okay. So I wouldn't have to go during the show?
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
That was me for drinking a cup of coffee pre-show.
So what did you think of Bristol?
I don't know, man. I thought Bristol sucked as far as the race went. Like, the Jeff Gluck poll ended at... I didn't even know he put the poll up yesterday. I guess because the race was Saturday, he ran the poll on Sunday. Luckily, I still got to vote. I had 1 hour remaining when I checked this morning to vote. But I went ahead and voted no like the rest of the 40% of the other people. 60 said yes, 40 said no. I gave it a 4.
So there's this... Bristol brings back fond memories.
Yeah, Bristol used to be a good race. What we had last night was not a good race.
Well, it's actually not even related to that. I went to private school for a couple years in high school. Academy, they called it. And we had a Bible teacher.
Academy, they called it?
Yeah, they called it the Academy.
All right, Harry Potter.
And so our Bible teacher's name was Harvey Bristol. Like Bristol Motor Speedway.
That's a cool last name.
And we'd call him Harvey Bristol Cream. But right across from his classroom was the teacher's lounge with a restroom. So my buddy Mike and I went over there and got saran wrap. And we cut up a bunch of rubber bands and made a giant rubber band. We tied them together.
Yeah.
We saran wrapped the toilet bowl with the seat up because he dropped a deuce just before our class every morning.
That's horrible.
And so we saran wrapped the toilet bowl, but not the seat.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And Harvey dropped the deuce and the cellophane held it up because we made it that big rubber band.
What grade was you in?
I think it was our senior year in high school.
You were old enough to know better.
No, we wanted to do this to
I know,
him.
that's horrible. That's what I'm telling you.
So he had his deuce
In his,
putting skid marks on his cheeks because it was holding it up,
you made him poop his sick.
basically.
That's horrible.
So
I'm defending this poor Harvey Bristol guy.
we heard him. He took the Lord's name in vain, the Bible teacher.
It's horrible, man.
We heard him from across. Class had started. He was late. We heard him.
These are the kind of things people need therapy for.
Because he would close the door as he entered just before the bell rang. But he did. He was late this time. And when he walked into the classroom, Mike and I just busted out laughing. And so we didn't get suspended. We got 2 weeks of restrictions. Detention is what they called it then. I don't think they have it now because all children are spoiled. But we got 2 weeks of detention for that. But when we went to the principal, actually they call it the headmaster, he laughed. He thought it was funny. He actually thought it was funny while Mr. Bristol was explaining it to, and our headmaster's name was Dick. He explained it to Dick that his doo-doo was weightless, and Dick laughed. And then Harvey got upset and left. And then our headmaster was still laughing.
Never known anybody with the first name Harvey.
Well, Harvey, I don't think he's dead now. I mean, it wasn't because of it wasn't because of the clear wrap. But anyway, that's what Bristol Motor Speedway, and it was a shit show.
It was that.
So, to connect my story, it was a shit show.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give Bristol?
It was interesting waiting for something to happen, something to break.
But you knew it was coming.
Yeah, but you just didn't know who. It was like, the lottery balls coming out of that vacuum getting sucked up. Which number out of the 36 is going to be screwed?
So what do you give it?
I can give it a 4.
Yeah.
I was thinking a 5, but the more I thought about it.
I think when I was working on the show notes originally, I gave it a 5, but then I rolled it into a 4. Yeah, I spent so much time this week. I got sidetracked when I was researching for the show, just reading about Texas. like the state of Texas.
Texas is a messed up place, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you, like
Texas is rocked with weird stuff.
It sucks that the racing in Texas is so bad because the state of Texas is ripe for a podcast. Like we could talk about Texas probably for a month.
It's like the unknown Florida man. It's Texas man.
Hey, so I was reading about this story. This lady in Wichita Falls, Texas.
You went down a Texas rabbit hole, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Is a
jackalope hole.
She's an hour and a half from the racetrack. So this woman was banned from Walmart for drinking wine from a Pringles can while driving around the parking lot in the store on an electric scooter.
It sounds like fun, actually.
Now listen, police showed up at 9 a.m. where employees say that she had been riding around since 6:30 a.m. drinking wine from a Pringles can. She's banned for life. And then at the same exact Walmart, another woman was removed because she refused to pay for a birthday cake that she had reportedly eaten half of while riding around the store on her motorized scooter.
See, I think they need scooter lanes because I've been run over by these newbies, these rookie drivers.
Like, this is a fat lady and a drunk on a scooter. Like, these aren't even legit people. This lady claims that they said they confronted this lady about eating half the cake and she refused to pay for it. They had video showing her eating it, and she claims that's the way she found it. Half eaten and refused to pay for it. This is at the same Walmart in Wichita Falls where the lady was banned from drinking wine out of a Pringles can on a dang motorized scooter. So
why didn't the governor bust them to another state?
Oh.
Because the whole state might have to get bused somewhere. What about that dude Zach sent you? Zach from Colorado.
Which one?
The meth dude.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to say that on this show? It's rated R anyway.
I mean, you're more than welcome to read it. I was saving it for the other show. But now you brought it up, so now you have people...
The meth guy masturbating on meth, and 15 cops. It took 15 cops to hold him down. Would you touch him? I would just let him go. Just leave that guy alone.
That's probably why it took 15 cops to wrestle this dude down.
I don't want to touch somebody doing that. This
dude's naked, playing with himself, and it took 15 cops to tackle him because he's all jacked up on meth. And I don't think that happened at the Wichita Falls Walmart, but hey, I really ain't 100% sure where that happened at. So one guy on Twitter at Lost Crashes said when on the Jeff Clark poll, he replied to Jeff Clark's "Was it a good race?" poll. He said it was just bad. Next gen car needs to be scrapped completely and replaced with the Xfinity car.
Isn't that kind of what Junior tweeted?
Yeah, well, you said that you thought the car we need
another car for short tracks.
Yeah. So, I mean, this guy says scrap it completely and replace it. I think you can't scrap it completely because your 1.5 mile tracks have been better with this car.
Road courses, they've been pretty tight. It's just stupid driving at the road courses.
Road courses, nothing happens, in my opinion. I think whatever car you use...
I think it's too good. Too well.
Yeah, which is the same problem they're having at short tracks. I mean, yesterday's problem was they were flying going through the turns. I mean, they're on a 1/2 mile track running straightaway speeds through the turns. You can't pass. Then if you pass...
Well, that's what made it so boring. There wasn't any passing. There was just blow-ups.
So, do you think there wasn't passing because of the aerodynamics, or is there not passing because you have drivers like Noah Gragson said are only driving at 90% because it hurts so bad to hit the wall? You're at a place where you're going to hit the wall at a speed where the driver is going to absorb the impact.
Well, almost everyone hit the wall. I mean...
Yeah, when their tire went down. That's the only reason people hit the wall yesterday is because NASCAR had tires falling out.
Well, they had right fronts popping, and no one seemed to know how to put a tire on a car yesterday. They were rolling all over pit row. What about and then Toyotas were just blowing up. Martin Truex shot the bird at his engine.
Yeah, Kyle Busch hasn't had a motor failure in like 4 years.
I got a theory about Kyle Busch's car.
Something's a little fishy about it.
Coach
Last
ain't
2
give
weeks.
him quality equipment, man. Coach is like, you gone.
I think Coach is trying to make him look bad before and after. So he makes his announcement. Going into that, he's coming off of a failure, motor failure, goes in, makes his announcement. Kind of seemed a little cocky at the announcement, maybe a little overexcited. Coach makes a phone call. Engine blows again.
Well, he just said,
Trying
hey,
to knock him down a notch.
that engine with the leaking head gasket
Give it to Kyle.
goes in the 18.
But then again, Kyle had motor problems. Truex had power steering problems.
All the Toyotas almost had power steering problems.
Denny had wheel problems, tire problems, and wheel problems.
They couldn't put them on all the way either. Fords were just atrocious on the track.
2311 and the 23 and the 45 had problems. Ford, yeah, every Ford except for Buescher.
Man, I'm really liking that NAS hole I came up with. Let's say that instead of rabbit holes. Let's go down a NAS hole.
All right, I can do that.
All right.
Like, I like that.
Because it sounds like a butt, but it
Well, you're
ain't.
not even changing NAS and ass. You're just changing
NAS and hole.
car and hole.
Yeah.
So it's always meant to be NAS.
Hole.
Hole.
Yeah.
I like that.
We're going down an asshole here.
NAS hole.
Yeah.
What's an asshole? The NAS hole?
It's going down a NASCAR rabbit hole.
But if you're
we're calling it the NAS
No,
hole.
I'm saying going down a NAS hole on an asshole.
Well, now that sounds really raunchy and not something I want to participate in.
Well, then you got to think how it sounds coming with my country twang. So NAS probably don't even sound like NAS ever. So every time I say NASshole, it's going to sound like asshole every single time.
I mean, I'm not into that, but not that there's anything wrong with it.
I'm saying NASshole?
Yeah.
Man, you confusing me, boss. Where are we at?
We're in Fayetteville.
Noah Gragson won his third race in a row at Bristol. Then he went to the Waffle House and took the sword and cut his waffle in half and eat half of it with the sword from the Bristol win.
He's on fire, dude.
I love his personality, man. Like,
he's a nut.
He's
got a great sense of humor. He's
on
going to be
Door
good.
Bumper Clear was awesome.
Oh yeah, it was.
Making fun of Ward. I mean, not Ward.
Ward.
Jeb.
Ward's brother.
No, brother, his son. Jeb.
Oh, Jeb.
And making fun of Jeb. Gonna beat
Why
the dog
don't
food
Jeb
out of
taste
him.
like Ward?
Sounds
Tastes like. Oh, that's that's so hillbilly. that should have been said at. Well, no, Bristol's the right track to say that, right?
I don't even know. I'm not even touching that one.
What an asshole that was.
You are an asshole. Yeah, but
Sorry, Ward.
listening to Noah make fun of Jeb on Door Bumper Clear, I was dying. Like, I was literally crying, laughing. It was hilarious. Making fun of that South Boston accent. But Noah's a personality we haven't seen in years. I mean, he's kind of like Dale Jr., Darrell Waltrip, Tim Richmond, and Tony Stewart wrapped up into one.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he's very eccentric. And
He'll pop that beer. He'll shotgun in a heartbeat.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he's gonna puke on himself. He had puke all over him. You see that?
He told Bob Pockris after the race, or at some point after the race, that he's kind of worried that he throws up in the car so much that after season's over, they're going to get that checked out.
His throw up or his car?
I think it's throw up. Him throw
That
it
could
up.
ruin some electronics there, dude. A little battery acid. A
Maybe
little
he
stomach
won't.
acid.
Could be something. He says he holds his breath the last couple laps, and maybe then the adrenaline from winning, the excitement, you go from holding your breath about to pass out to the adrenaline rush from winning.
See, when I was a kid, little kids will hold their breath, and your parents will be when they're angry because they didn't get what they want, and parents will go, "Well, you're going to let it out eventually." Well, I didn't, and I passed out.
You ever overthink breathing to the point where you think about breathing to where you start thinking, if I don't remind myself to breathe, I won't breathe.
Ooh, don't put that. You know I'm OCD. Don't put that thought in my head. I'll die tonight thinking about breathing.
If you don't remember. So what if you quit thinking about it? What if you quit remembering to do it when
Isn't
you quit
that
thinking
the
about it?
definition of a stroke?
It's definition of dead if you quit breathing.
Wow, that's a thought.
Hey, Kevin Harvick has a new T-shirt that he's released. It's called Happy's Crappy Ass Parts for Less, Bakersville, California. Did you see that shirt?
Well, I mean, do you think it's because of COVID or just is it an asshole screwing up where they source these things from? I think they need to give the teams a little more leeway.
Yeah, I think the team should be able to. We didn't have the part failure problem when the teams built the parts, which is what Kevin and Truex are saying. The smartest guys in NASCAR, as far as mechanics, are on the teams already.
Yeah, they didn't help design this.
Yeah. So let them say, here's what you have to make.
Let them cheat and then go, hey, that's a good idea. Everyone else can do it.
Well, not even that. Just let them make the parts. Like, here's the circle. You make this circle to match this circle. Now, they're going to try to make a circle a little different.
I mean, it's kind of like cheese sticks at a restaurant, right?
Cheese stick's a cheese stick, but it's
Right.
different at every cheese stick.
But they're probably all sourced from Cisco. But you get some, they serve them cold. Some have been popped.
I mean, pop.
Some are, if you fry them too long, they'll pop the cheese out.
They'll come out on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. That means you.
But it's all the same when it starts. It's
That's
kind
in
of
a
like
microwave.
NASCAR. Let them.
Well, I just say let them build the parts. I mean, why send one manufacturer's got to build parts for 36 plus cars?
Well,
every
supposedly
week?
it was going to save money, but apparently that's not happening.
I don't think they care about the money at this point. They're tired of. I mean, you had 2 champions eliminated from the playoffs in the first round because of mechanical failure.
Well,
Yeah.
that race at Bristol was just a race of attrition.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was just like the race at
It was
Daytona.
like
except the
Ukrainian
attrition
war
was-
with Russia. I mean,
The
just,
attrition was from a different reason.
yeah.
It wasn't even a crash. It was just attrition from sucking.
I didn't like it. I don't know. I'm not very excited about short tracks anymore, and I'm really not excited about this 1.5 miles coming up.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people not excited about this. Guy, Constant Use 330 on Reddit said, I'm having a hard time getting excited about 500 miles at Texas.
You know what they ought to do? Make the race 250 miles, cut the capacity of the gas tank in half. Then they have to do just as many pit stops as a 500 miler, and we can be done in 2 hours.
At Texas, what they should do is not go.
I agree.
What they're going to do is turn Texas into what Atlanta is now.
We don't know.
They're going to. You know they will.
I know they will, but it's kind of like I looked at the schedule. There's too many road courses on it now. I'm over it.
Yeah, I wasn't really shocked at all about the schedule. So
And the 600 was great when we went in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time not to do the Roval.
I don't know. I like it because it makes that one time they race on the oval that much more important. I'm good with I like Charlotte having 2 races, one being on the Roval, one being on the oval, because you have something different to look forward to. You don't need but one race a year. Same crap. I mean, how many times have we seen a driver sweep the same track twice in 1 year? Dale Jr. did it. So anybody can do it, right?
No. I mean,
But what I'm saying is,
what do you win? 26?
That's what I'm saying is it happens. Like one driver wins. If he wins the next race there, you've had the same race twice in one season. So only go once. Very few tracks need 2 races. We've discussed it.
Yeah, we did last week.
I mean, Bristol was one we said needed to. And after last night, I don't know that they do. Not last night, but whenever it was, Saturday night. They don't need to.
Do you think Kyle's got any friends that he's leaving behind at Joe Gibbs Racing?
You would think. I mean, he's been there for like 15 years.
But as you know, you find out who your real friends are after you leave a job.
Well, yeah, but
Some are like, oh, we'll keep in touch. And they never call you again.
Well, Kyle hadn't left yet.
Or you don't call them again. You're like, never sketch.
Didn't need to anyway.
Yeah, screw 'em.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Kyle probably. I think there's a whole nother side to Kyle that we'll never know until he.
I think he has a nice personality in the shop.
Well, I'm sure he does.
Well, he's kind of shown a little bit of sense of humor. Do you think he'll continue that now that he's at RCR? Do you think?
I think he's going to just let the whole butthole flag fly and just come out and be pissed off all the time. Not pissed off, but just hard. Like, you ain't going to mess with me no more. I'm not taking crap off nobody. He's going to play into that rowdy personality of his. I mean, he took the Days of Thunder Rowdy Burns character and made it a reality.
And made it an energy drink.
But it's him. Like, he owned it. And he wanted that to be his persona.
Well, he does a little tear thing every time he wins.
Well, you heard Dale Jr. say Kyle wants to be liked. Kyle don't want to be hated every week. Now,
I love hating him though. I might love him when he retires.
I think more people are going to come around to Kyle now that he's at RCR.
Do you think
he has
Joe Gibbs is too buttoned down?
He has a chance to change.
Like Penske? Do you think Joe Gibbs is just too hard?
Yeah, I do.
You're going to fit this mold? I don't care.
Well, you've seen...
You don't have a choice?
I mean, Joe Gibbs has got probably like Penske, you know. Ryan Blaney had to get permission to have a beard. So, yeah.
That's so 1950s, dude.
But Gibbs, probably similar aspect. I don't know. I was really.
He's probably about the same age, huh?
Yeah, but I was like James Smalls and that whole Truex crew wearing T-shirts on the pit box. I mean, that's just kind of their thing now. But I was really surprised that Joe let them get away with it.
Well, you know, where was that? Martinsville. Who was it driving the car in the Xfinity? The Joe's Gibbs team won, but it wasn't Ty. And he didn't seem very happy about it.
I don't know.
That was this year.
I saw where he's losing. Brandon Jones is going to the number 9 next year.
It was Brandon Jones. That's who won.
Was it?
Yeah, and Ty didn't. Ty came in like 4th or 5th. And he was pissed, even though his team won.
It's his grandson, man.
I know, but show your favoritism away from work. I mean, you won. I don't know.
He's not going to.
He's kind of hardcore.
He's not going to do that. He's going to be favoring his son.
Grandson?
Yeah, grandson over the rest of them.
I don't know. He kind of reminds me of my father.
Nope.
Joe Gibbs.
You think?
Yeah.
Nah, I think Coach is a nice guy.
Yeah.
Was your dad nice?
Yeah.
I never met your dad.
Oh, you'd love him when you meet him. But he's also hard.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard stories of your dad beating the crap out of you, so.
I mean, and I deserved it. I mean, you heard the Bristol story that wasn't related to the racetrack. I mean, it's not like I didn't deserve it. And I knew he loved me, but he could be hard. And I think Joe Gibbs is the same way.
Yeah, you did. I'm sure if Ty Gibbs would pull a stunt like you pull with the Saran wrap, Coach Gibbs would probably whoop his butt.
Mm-hmm. And then send him home so his son could whoop his butt again.
All right, we're talking about the new schedule. Not only are we going to North Wilkesboro to run the All-Star race, the Truck Series is going to run a race at Wilkesboro, and they're going back to Milwaukee. Did you see that?
They're going, the Milwaukee Mile.
That's pretty neat. I think that'll be a good race. I like to see us going back to some historical tracks.
That is one of the oldest ones, isn't it?
I don't know that. I know it's old, but North Wilkesboro is going to be cool, man. It's just, I hope we get to go. Because now the trucks are going to be there, and we when we were there, we even said the trucks would put on a really good race here.
Yeah.
So just the way those trucks handle, it's going to look cool going up and downhill.
Aren't we going to a race in 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah, we'll be at Talladega.
Oh, yeah.
That's nothing like Wilkesboro. Small to large. We have a.
No, it ain't. You don't even have to use earplugs once they get spread out. Just. Wow. Wow.
All right, we've had 19 different winners this season.
Oh, I got 2 more wows. Wow. Wow.
We've had 19 different winners this season. It's tying the previous record of 19. Look, Truex and Blaney need to win a race, but after the way they ran yesterday, I mean, we just went through round 1 of the playoffs and no playoff driver won a race. I mean, yesterday, Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, Austin Cindric, Austin Dillon, Daniel Suarez, Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman, Joey Logano, all playoff drivers, all had problems.
Maybe they should have saved up their piss and vinegar. They used it all before the playoffs.
Yeah, that's no doubt. All right.
Maybe they need to eat cake like the lady near the track. Always winning. That's probably
Always
what she
winning.
said when she left.
Probably.
What about that dude that was cruising around his unicycle? Naked.
That was in Texas, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's like Florida man, but
Oh, yeah.
not as well known.
Yeah, a local man outside of Houston was arrested over the weekend riding his unicycle naked on the interstate. Look, police arrested this dude because he was a distraction to other motorists, but they pointed out that he was fully sober, which I thought was hilarious.
You've been to the circus and they're riding those things? That seat kind of bananas around your body. I would think you'd want to wear a cup at least, or a toga.
Or maybe it's a custom made.
A sumo towel around your wiener.
Maybe just sit on the edge.
Or you had a wiener hole where it wouldn't get crushed.
I was going to say, custom made, naked.
Wiener riding uni guy.
Got a wiener pouch on the
Did he
seat.
have one nut, a
Uninut?
uninut on a unicycle?
The one nut. Speaking of one nut, Kevin Harvick had wheel issues. The nut won't lock into place. Rodney Childress, yet again, 2 weeks in a row, has deleted another tweet. It's like, what's Rodney gonna?
I think he's getting in trouble.
What's Rodney gonna tweet and delete on Mondays is becoming the new trend. Every Monday he tweets in the morning. So if you want to know you want to see the good stuff, you got to get up early and check Rodney's Twitter in the morning.
At the end of the race, a hauler goes to Stewart Haas Racing, and they just wait for him to do a tweet being critical about the new car, and they call him into the hauler.
Well,
and then he goes, "Okay, I'll remove it."
He tweeted that like this morning though.
Well, he gets to work early, and the hauler's there waiting.
Oh, you
for
mean
him.
they're waiting on it to shop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they
They're
bring
waiting
that
on it.
hauler to the shop,
Oh,
and they call him in. It's
obvious,
like he gets past the gate,
but it's kind of getting annoying. Like
clocks in.
somebody just needs to take over his Twitter and not let him tweet anymore. If you're gonna make him delete his tweets, don't even allow him to tweet his tweets.
Why do we got to be so secretive about problems?
Exactly. It makes it look. Deleting his tweets makes NASCAR look guilty.
I mean, they just had a Kia Hyundai recall in the Palisade and the, what's the one named after Colorado? Telluride.
Yeah.
They told you it's going to explode, park it 50 yards from your house. So do you park your
Did
car
they
at your
really?
neighbor's house? Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. They got some kind of gas problem. Something's going on.
Your
But
car is going to explode. Park 50 feet from your house.
let's be a little more open, asshole.
Well, quit being an
Don't be an
asshole.
asshole. I don't know.
Look, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, the police raided a home. They found drugs, guns, money, alligators.
Alligators?
But check it out. The investigators are frantically searching for the missing tigers that were also in the home.
Whoa.
So they found drugs, guns, money, and multiple alligators. And now they're looking for the missing tigers with an S. That's tigers with an S.
That's messed up, dude.
This is the kind of crap you find when you start researching Texas Motor Speedway.
You really went down the Reddit hole, didn't you?
In Corpus Christi, 6 hours from the racetrack, a guy named Alan Bade. He was a hit and run driver. He led police on an hour-long police chase while driving his John Deere tractor. He backed into a van on his tractor and took off on Highway 77, leading police on a low-speed chase. Like, this crap doesn't happen anywhere but Texas.
We have gone to Texas for years on business. We haven't got to watch anything like this.
You know what? The guy that goes through Dallas-Fort Worth Airport with a missile launcher.
Maybe we should get out more next time we're in Texas.
This dude's in the airport with a missile launcher.
That's awesome.
All right.
Talking about mechanical failures, that thing goes off while you're wearing it on your shoulder. Aren't you just going to hit one of those planes?
Your favorite was the dude in the unicycle, so I like Cynthia Rodriguez in San Antonio, Texas. She bought a granola bar, and when she opened her granola bar, a little baggie fell out. Thinking she won a prize, she called General Mills right away. General Mills informed her that that was not a prize they put in the package to call the police. After calling the police, she realized that there was a little baggie of cocaine inside her granola bar.
What state is she from? Is cocaine legal there? Why is that a prize?
I don't think she knew it was cocaine.
I got magic fairy dust, and when I touch it, I feel all tingly on the inside.
Well, I don't know, like, when that story actually was written, because there was no date on it. I just thought it was crazy that this lady goes and buys her granola bar before her hike and opens it and gets cocaine.
Maybe she should have used it, get down the mountain.
Well, I was going to say, maybe.
Well, she's in Texas, isn't she?
Yeah.
Are there mountains in Texas?
There might be towards Dallas.
I don't know. Dallas is kind of flat. So Houston,
well, we know West
kind of
Texas
looks
is like
the same desert.
Yeah. They might get a little bit of the Rockies at some point up on that little
Texas Panhandle.
Yeah, the northern Panhandle they have. You know, Panhandle, that's where it all goes wrong.
That's probably where most of these wackos are from, because Florida's like the Panhandle for America.
Well, Florida's just two panhandles. That's all it is, and nothing goes right in the Panhandle. I listened to this other podcast
Called Florida Man?
No. Florida Man's insane, though.
Yeah, it is.
No, I listen to this other podcast, and they always talk about the panhandle behavior. Because everything that always goes wrong in a panhandle.
That's because you got to go north to get south in Florida. Everybody else is from New York down there.
That's a fact. Dr. Pepper's from Texas. I didn't know that. You knew that. I didn't know.
I knew that, but Dr. Pepper's a dude from Virginia, where the founder of Dr. Pepper named it after a pharmacist there. And the Dr. Pepper founder was a pharmacist.
Yeah, I knew that. I think all soda came from the pharmacy back then.
Yeah, it was supposed to cure your heartburn or something.
Coca-Cola was made
with cocaine.
Yeah, it would keep you awake.
Cocoa leaves.
Coca-Cola will help you stay awake.
Cocoa leaves and the cola nut. Coca-Cola.
All right, we always talk about NASCAR, and we always refer to it as our sport. I think most NASCAR fans take a lot of pride in the fact that it's their sport.
That's why they need to be publicly traded. We can buy a share.
Well, the reason people call it their sport is we got one of our listeners, Janet. She headed up to the Bristol night races this weekend, and her and her husband stopped off at the Bluff City Diner to have breakfast. And while they're sitting there eating, two guys walked up, asked could they join them. She looks up, and it's Mike Helton and Jim France. So they were able to join them and sat and had breakfast together. And before they left, Mike Helton asked them, where they were sitting at, and ended up Mike Helton and Jim France paid for their breakfast and gave them a VIP experience. They got garage passes, got the works.
Wow.
It's just a random coincidence.
I wonder what she said with them when they were eating breakfast. Did she go, hey, is that sausage any good, Mike?
To get the free passes?
No, just while they're eating breakfast. Are those pancakes any good? Jim?
So they talked about just about the sport.
Oh,
I would love to sit down and talk to somebody like that. Like, especially when it wasn't planned, you know? Like, there's no expectations. Like, if he walked up to them and all he wanted to do is eat breakfast. And to her, the coolest part was sitting down talking to Mike Helton. It wasn't with intentions of, hey, maybe if we're nice to Mike, he'll give us VIP passes.
yeah.
You know, it wasn't that they paid for their breakfast. I mean, none of that, all that didn't matter because she's a super fan like the rest of us. So that would be the cooler part to me, sitting down having breakfast with those two legends of the sport. And I remember Mike Helton walking out, and I mean, as bad as it is, my biggest memory of Mike Helton's when he walked out and said, "We've lost Dale Earnhardt."
Well, don't you think? I mean, you know, we haven't met anybody. Well, Marcus Smith we met, but don't a lot of them they seem well grounded.
Oh, no doubt. One of the coolest conversations I ever had was me and John, my son, were at Talladega, and we sat down with Bobby and Donnie Allison on the end of pit road wall.
Dang.
During the hustle and bustle going on pit road, where there's hundreds of people walking by you. We've been there all day, and we did that Talladega VIP experience with my son, and we just see them standing there. I said, hey, to get them to sign your checkered flag. Told them who they were, and they just said, hey, I'll have a seat. And we sat, and they sat there and told stories about just old days, you know. And so to be able to sit and talk to Mike Helton too, who basically grew up in NASCAR, that would be amazing.
That's awesome.
I mean, Jim France, you're having breakfast with, it doesn't get much higher than a France. You know, I mean, you got two of the most influential and important figures in NASCAR currently.
Isn't he head of IMSA?
Who?
Jim France. There's a France that's head of it.
Well, now that Drunk Brian France ain't around no more, Jim's running things.
How is he related to Drunk France?
I think that Twitter account's gone. Remember that Twitter, Drunk Brian France?
Oh, yeah. He's chicken restaurant man now.
No, I think that guy got, sued.
Brian France is chicken dude.
Yeah, Brian France owns a chicken restaurant. He's competing with Chick-fil-A. So
yeah.
He's open on Sunday.
Is he?
I think that was his whole thing. Closed on Monday, open on Sunday.
Closed on Monday.
I guess you don't have to be closed every day.
Are they going to have those at all the tracks owned by the Frances?
I don't think it's the Frances. I think it's Brian France. I think he's the one that owns it. I don't think it's a joint venture with, under the NASCAR umbrella. I don't think there's a...
Why didn't he call his restaurant the Drunk Chicken? I'd go to that.
Chick-fil-B.
Meth chicken?
With every Chick-fil-A or with every chicken sandwich, get a little baggie of cocaine.
Yeah, he could sell meth to what's his face.
You get a prize. Mayfield.
His ex-wife could be the mediator.
Call Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy.
I'll get a number 19 Jeremy Mayfield combo meal, please.
I want blue ice with that. Blue ice with my Coca-Cola.
Like Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Breaking Bad ice.
All right, we're going to Texas Motor Speedway. I actually reviewed the track.
I found a review of the track. They were pissed off about no coolers.
I was trying to think,
You want me to read it?
Julian Torres said she gave it a 1 out of 5. She said the staff was extremely rude, just to tell me I was parking on the ringside.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Old Caucasian male driving the red truck with official written on the side. So we know who it was. He was extremely rude. So not just one member of the staff. The dropout farmer gave it a 1 out of 5. This is all for Texas Motor Speedway. It's run out of food before the race even starts. Then he just complained about NASCAR.
Didn't they refuse you to bring in your own water last year when it was hot as crap? It was one of those tracks.
I think that was Nashville.
Nashville?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
But then this guy, the dropout farmer, he says they run out of food before the race even begins. That's a complaint towards the track. Then he says NASCAR picks the coldest, rainiest months of the year to race here. Been traveling here for 9 years to catch at least one race a year. More times than not, it's canceled for rain. I'm 33, and this is my first ever negative review. that's what I think. That was what attracted me to this review. Was I'm 33 and this is my first ever negative review.
And we're on episode 33. Did you know 33 is when they say Jesus died? That's why it's a holy number. There's also 33 levels of the Masons.
And you're not a Mason.
No. I am descended from some Masons, but I am not a Mason. It seemed like an old man's club back in... Yeah, probably.
That's like
they're probably older now.
That's from that movie, National Treasure.
Now the Masons do good things. Yeah, that was Mason stuff.
Yeah, they hid treasure.
Well, they got hospitals where they don't charge kids to get cured or whatever treated.
Is the Masons and the Shriners the same thing?
Yes, they're like super Masons.
Shriners.
Yeah.
My daughter's got their dyslexia test done at the Shriners Hospital in Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a weird.
I mean, they do good things.
It was a weird place, but yeah, I mean, it was like a sketchy looking building, like a mosque.
Well, have you seen their temples? They're in every town.
That's what I'm saying.
There's never people in it except for one night a week.
It was at a place like that's where they did the testing at.
At one of their weird sacrificial
It was at
rooms.
It was one of those weird buildings, yeah. Like it was sketch.
Did they put her on an altar? And
no. And there's no weird sacrifices or nothing.
I don't believe that crap anyway. But there was a political party called the Anti-Masons in the 1830s and 40s. But seeing though I have ancestors that were members, I think they were not in the Anti-Mason party.
And this other dude, his name's Robbie Bunch. He reviewed He reviewed the Texas Motor Speedway. Said, "Worst event I've ever attended. It's obvious that the Jeep Club was more important than a drag race. Then some idiot decided..."
What is a drag race exactly? Is it cars or men dressed as women running a 50-yarder?
Both would be entertaining.
I'd probably rather see the men dressed in women's clothes running 50-yard dashes.
I bet they wreck more.
Yeah, kind of like the new car.
He said, then some idiot decided to park the Jeeps on the drag strip. The Jeep Club are a bunch of pansy idiots who have to run their AC while on the track and leave the condensating water all over the track. I have been to drag races over 40 years, and this is the worst I've ever attended. Now there are guys drying the track with backpack leaf blowers. This is going to take forever. This sucks. Wasn't that what they had at North Wilkesboro?
Yeah.
Backpack.
It looked like backpack leaf blowers on the back of a Polaris with two little donut wheels. Yeah. Or a golf cart.
Pulling around a kid running a leaf blower.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to Texas, Jamie. Where do we want to avoid? Hotels.
Well, if it's a Wyndham, you want to avoid it. We have a couple Wyndhams, but I also have a couple of my new favorite ones. Oh, yo.
Yo, yo.
Oh, yo, yo.
Yo, yo.
So we got the Express Inn of Fort Worth. Amy Amaro gave it a 1 out of 5. She says, the only reason I'm giving 1 star was because you can't give a half. Hey, that's a first. Not a 0. She was going to give it a half. So how do we get half stars when you can only give solid stars? An average, I guess.
That's almost falling in the trap, right?
Yeah, it's almost. We're not going to call her a trap house. Which we still don't know what a trap house is. But we've seen it in a lot of reviews. I think it's another word for crack house.
Trap house?
Yeah, trap house. So first night, there was a fight that went on from 1 a.m. to 3:30 until finally the police department came and arrested them. Then woke up to some people picking up crack rocks off the ground next to my room. How does she know? Did she throw them out the door? Here, everyone! Merry Christmas! Crack rocks out in the hallway! Unless you seriously hard up on your cash, I wouldn't advise staying here. Roaches and mold in the bathroom. They do have a pool, but there's no water in it. And hasn't been for a while now. Sinks are constantly backing up. A worker chased my finance. Do you think he means fiance? His finance. He threw a dollar bill. I don't get it.
Chased her finances.
Did the poo dollar trick or dollar on a fishing line? I don't know. They don't fix anything. There's tons of minor details that don't work. But when you're living there, it gets kind of irritating. They do allow pets, but only one dog, and they just up the price from $10 to $15 a day on top of the rent price.
$10 to $15 a night.
Yeah, on top of the rent price. They won't fix anything, but they're quick to come collect their money even after you paid. Smack my head. What the heck? One of the rooms even had a full-size box spring under a queen-size mattress. We had to adjust it to where I slept with a mattress side folding down and my husband on the other side since he's heavier to keep the mattress from sliding off. He had to go out and buy a shower curtain because there wasn't one, but can only take showers. So if you're looking for a nice hot bath to just relax in, forget about it.
I wasn't getting a bathtub at a hotel to relax.
No, sometimes I wish I brought my flip-flops to shower.
I would be flipping out.
And these are nice hotels I don't want to get in without a flip-flop.
It wasn't the Express Inn in Fort Worth?
Express Inn in Fort Worth, man. That might be where that naked dude's riding his unicycle.
It might be. He might have been. That's the crack rock he dropped.
It could be.
Police said he was fully sober.
But they didn't drug test him, probably.
Well, he took his pants off, spilt the crack rock out of his pocket.
Can they catch drugs on a breathalyzer? I mean, I've never. Well, I hadn't had to blow a breathalyzer once. They thought I was drunk, but it was just me being me.
You were fully sober.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pissed him off.
It did. It ticked him off.
He should have been drunk.
So then we're going to the Oyo Hotel.
Oyo.
Spelled O-Y-O. Oyo Hotel, Fort Worth East. Kimberly Willis. 1 out of 5 on Google. I wish I could give 0 stars with like 20 exclamation points. And then she has Oyo.
Oyo, you fell into the...
Oyo at I-12, an airline.
Trap, you idiot.
Stole my money. I made a reservation when I arrived at the desk to check in after 11 p.m. I was told there was no rooms available because the rooms were not clean. I was told I need to call hotels.com to request a refund. So she had a room. She did it online. She should have said that up front. When I called, hotels.com say the property had me listed as a no-show, so they could not issue me a refund. What kind of BS is this? Y'all just stealing people's money. How desperate do you do yourself a favor and find somewhere else to stay? I wish I would have read the reviews before I made the reservation. Yeah, you should have. You really should have read
She's all pissed off.
But then we got the Oyo again.
Oyo again. Is that what it's called?
Well, I didn't want to call it part duo.
Oh.
Part 2.
Oh,
part,
so it's
part
not
deuce.
It's not the Oyo again hotel.
But this is just 2 weeks ago. But look at who reviewed it. I told you he wasn't dead.
He's not alive still.
Michael Jackson.
I played football with a kid in Little League ball. His name was Michael Jackson. That was his first name.
I mean, he had 2 first names? Michael Jackson?
His name was Michael Jackson. I don't remember his last name.
Oh. Why would your parents do that to you?
Because his mama really liked Michael Jackson.
But...
So she named her son Michael Jackson.
Was it after Michael Jackson had died and all this child pedo stuff?
No. This would have been... What year did Michael Jackson die?
I don't know. I wasn't a fan of him.
Wasn't either.
I was more Eddie Van Halen or...
I listened to some Michael Jackson as I've gotten older.
Well, Eddie Van Halen was in that do. That was him.
Never heard any Eddie Van Halen sound like
on Thriller.
Hillbilly.
Thriller.
Oh.
He had to be kind of.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it really Eddie Van Halen?
Yeah, that was him.
I didn't know that. That was before my time.
Randy Rhoads, he was awesome.
Randy Rhoads was Ozzy.
Who do you think was better? Eddie Van Halen or Randy Rhoads?
So I'm going to go with Eddie Van Halen because he lived longer, so his talent was able to mature and blossom more. I think Randy Rhoads had more natural ability to play a guitar than Eddie Van Halen. But
because he died,
we never saw his full potential. I mean, he was
2 albums. That's all
he
he
wasn't even close to peaking as a guitar player
That
when
was
he
like
passed
20,
away.
what, 25?
Yeah,
Something
but
like that.
it's just his age out of the equation, just his talents. I mean, you look at Jimmy Page peaked probably. His talent stopped improving.
After Led Zeppelin broke up, I think, in my opinion.
I'd say in the 80s. When they broke
Is
up.
that when they broke up?
Something like
Like
that.
81, 82?
Somewhere
I mean,
around
we were
there.
just little chillins by then, but
I don't know.
you weren't even born yet.
No. But I'm just like even when he was with Zeppelin, his talents peaked probably late 70s.
But he got into Satan, and Satan screwed him up, dude.
I don't know that he was into Satan as much as he was into
He was,
Aleister Crowley.
wasn't he a Satan dude?
I think he was.
Or was it more into
He was more into Aleister.
feel good at
I
no
don't-
cost, at any cost?
What's crazy is I didn't know any of that. Like when I listened to Led Zeppelin back in high school and stuff, I knew nothing about the.
What about
Aleister
Ozzy's
Crowley.
song, Mr. Crowley?
That was
Bow, bow, bow.
okay. I would have expected Ozzy to be more into it than
He's the son of a Baptist
Page.
pastor.
Exactly. And Ozzy's what, the Prince of Darkness?
But he's a Christian. He says he's
So
a
who was the first heavy metal band in your opinion?
It'd be Black Sabbath.
Okay, I agree with that. Who's better with Black Sabbath, Ozzy or Dio?
I think Ozzy is.
I agree with that too.
But I like Dio. I don't like the music. Actually, I saw him try to call demons up from the stage at the Sanctuary in Atlanta.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yngwie Malmsteen was playing guitar.
I saw Dio. Like I took my dad on Father's Day one year. It used to VH1 Classics used to do like summer tours. We went and saw Deep Purple. Dio opened up for Deep Purple, who opened up for the Scorpions.
Hmm.
It was,
Interesting show.
I mean, it was a neat show, but it wasn't Dio with Dio. I mean, it was like,
The band Dio without Dio? Was
Yeah.
it after he died?
when did he die?
I don't know.
Like, he died in the last.
Like, I really liked him when I was a teenager, like in the 80s.
yeah,
90s.
I mean, I know nothing about.
And then I just kind of, I know I mean, when he was kind of like Sammy Hagar. He was good when he came to Black Sabbath. Just Ozzy was better. Sammy Hagar was good. Sold more albums when he came to Van Halen, but I kind of like Sammy solo more.
That's about
And I
it.
like Van Halen better more.
I
don't know.
but I like Sammy with Van Halen.
Yeah, well, I liked it.
I like Sammy.
can't-
I like Sammy Hagar.
But-
I like his personality, like on stage as a performer.
But my comparison is that they're really two different bands, both of them, right? Like Black Sabbath with Ozzy is different than Black Sabbath with Dio,
100%.
and Van Halen with David Lee Roth is a totally different band than Van Halen with Sammy Hagar. I like them both.
Both of them are good in their own way.
Yeah, I like them both.
Yeah, I agree with that. I didn't have one over the other as a favorite as far as my picks on Van Halen would go.
Well, that
But see, Van Halen was
5150 was the best album Van Halen ever put out, and Sammy Hagar was a singer on it.
Van Halen was technically before like the hair metal scene, right?
Yeah.
Because Van Halen would have came out with Black Sabbath, Aerosmith, probably
Yeah. About
that
the same.
era.
I mean, I was like,
It was
I
before.
was a little kid listening to older siblings, whatever you want to call them, cousins.
Because didn't
They
like,
got me into Van Halen. I was like 8, 5, 6. I don't know. When they first came out.
did you listen to Aerosmith?
I never liked Aerosmith.
Really?
I never liked them. I don't know why.
I read that book.
I just
and that
didn't
made me
like
them even more.
I never liked Aerosmith.
Man, I actually enjoyed Aerosmith.
I've never owned a Aerosmith album, and when I'm listening to Spotify and their little algorithm or whatever you want to call it will throw in songs because you've chosen these songs or skipped these. They'll throw in some others. They always throw in Aerosmith, and I don't like them.
So do you thumbs down it?
Yeah, I thumbs down it, so it does, but it still leaks in there.
There's Aerosmith has an album called Little South of Sanity. It's a live.
Well, that's my whole life.
It's a live album. That's my favorite Aerosmith. Like if I want like there's few albums are my go-to albums. Like
I've never liked Ted Nugent either.
Ted Nugent puts on a good show in concert. Ted Nugent's a great guitar player, and is a very good guitar player live in concert.
I mean, I don't have anything against them personally. I just never.
What about Pearl Jam?
I like Pearl Jam.
I can't stand Pearl Jam.
Let's see. Everybody's got a couple of bands they just can't stand.
I don't mind. What's Alive?
I was in my prime for grunge. Grunge was my thing.
Grunge, other than Nirvana, I'm not a grunge guy.
See, my wife and I were into Nirvana, all of them. Pearl Jam, STP. That was our.
All right, I like Stone Temple Pilots.
That was our stuff.
Did you listen to?
I mean, we were like
Stone Temple Pilots after they broke up, and Scott got with Duff and Slash, Velvet Revolver.
That was a good band too.
I saw Velvet Revolver in concert, and that was my thing. Slash. If I had to say my favorite guitar player,
I love Slash.
It would be Slash. I just everything about Slash says cool.
I want to hang with Slash.
I dressed up as Slash for career day. I wanted to be.
See, that's cool.
That's like first grade.
Like, I don't want to hang with Eddie Van Halen. I mean, he's dead. I can't now. But I want to hang with Sammy, you know?
Yeah. That's like Sammy does that birthday bash every year. Yeah. It's like a month-long concert.
I got a cousin that's gone like 2-3 times.
I wonder if he's still doing that.
I think he still does. He's in his 70s, I think, now.
So was me and you the ones talking about Jimmy Buffett?
Yes, we were.
You don't like Jimmy.
We were at work prospecting last week.
Yeah, we were talking about Jimmy Buffett. I'm a parrothead. I like Jimmy Buffett.
I don't hate him, but it's more my parents' kind of thing.
I think it's a newer thing. I mean, yes, Jimmy Buffett changed, but he goes with every generation.
I put him in with the Beatles. I mean,
Jimmy
I like
Buffett
the Beatles.
He's not classic because his music never ages.
Well, no, it's. You know, I like his tunes, but I don't want to go see his concert or buy a record or even listen to him on.
It's the most chill, relaxing, good vibe music you can listen to. Like, just sit back, chill, and relax and listen to some Buffett.
Do you like Bob Marley? I love Bob Marley.
I love Bob Marley. Love Bob Marley.
I mean, I would compare Bob Marley to the drinking group of people of the same age. Like, Bob Marley way before my time.
Yeah, but I can put Bob Marley on.
But I love Bob Marley.
Cutting grass. Listen to some Bob Marley, Jimmy Buffett.
See, you throw in Jimmy Buffett again, and I'm like, you know, I'm too short to see out the windows of the car, and my parents are listening to Stepped on a Pop Top, Ruined My Flip Flop. Just wasn't into it, dude.
But you like...
While my dad cranks it up. I love this song.
You got Cheeseburger in Paradise, and you're a cheeseburger guy.
I like I said, I'm not going to not listen to his music.
Looks at 40. I mean,
I'd probably have a great time at his concert. It's just, I feel like...
Phenomenal. His concerts are not unlike any other. It's an experience.
It's just not...
So what's the best concert you've ever been to? You can break it up by genre if you want, because, like, it's hard for me not to do that, because I got 2 top ones.
I saw Nirvana.
Oh, that was, like, OG Nirvana.
Yeah, like, I saw it before Teenage Spirit took off at the 930 Club in D.C.
Oh, that's cool.
Which back in the day, and if you go there now, it seats like 3,000-4,000 people. The old 930 Club couldn't have more than like 300 people in it. And my brothers, my younger brother Joey and I, and his friend Mark Gifford, my friend Mike Adams, we lived just a few subway stops away. We would go down to 9:30 all the time, and we saw a bunch of bands that took off on Thursday night for 3 bands, $3.
That's cool.
And, we were into the DC hardcore, which is punk, but in DC you called it DC hardcore.
So would Nirvana have been considered punk?
No, they weren't punk, but, 3 bands, $3. We'd look at the schedule and go, who's this band Nirvana? And who's this Stone Temple Pilots? Who are they? And then we had like our local bands, SR-71, Jimmy Eats World,
Jimmy Eats World,
Bouncing Souls.
That was like my era. Like,
well, and that was kind of after the DC hardcore had kind of played out. That would have been 90s, yeah.
Jimmy Eat World would have, like, for me, I listened to music growing up as a kid, like early teens. But it was, for me, the turning point, like the first album I ever bought, that was 100% my decision to buy, was Korn, Follow the Leader, and Godsmack. Bought them the same day. My mom flipped out. She threw the Godsmack, or didn't throw it away. She called my dad. She's like, our son bought a Godsmack CD. He's listening to the devil's music. My dad's like, no, that's the name of the band. It's all good.
See, we lived close enough.
But
we were there. The town I lived in, half was in D.C., half was in Maryland. But University of Maryland was like 4 miles away, 3-4 miles. We could get the college radio. So we were listening to music like XTC.
Was hip-hop big?
They had... Oh, what was the name? Shoot, man. Hardcore used to go with... go-go music, which was their own thing in D.C. Like, they would play at a park, and it would be D.C. hardcore with go-go music,
Right.
which was, like, different from rap.
What's that go-go? Is that like a hip-hop type of...
It is.
Oh,
You'd have to Google it.
Look it up.
And find it, because you don't hear it outside. It was gigantic.
Go-go, I'm thinking of like 70s go-go dancers.
No, we would go to, like, this club called the Black Hole in D.C.
Yeah.
Like Nasshole. And we would hear go-go music, and I don't know. I don't...
So we were big into it was...
Maybe I'm stupid, but races were... And, we're kids, right? So we don't know politics and all this crap. We had black friends, Billy Morgan.
Politics didn't matter back then. It was all about the music. At that age...
And we had Ian Niles, Tommy McDaniels. They were African-American. They would hit the hardcore show with us, and we would go to the Black Hole with them to hear go-go music.
I was saying,
so
none of that mattered. Politics didn't matter, and that was the beauty of music at that age.
And race didn't seem to matter.
All that mattered back then was music. That was it.
I mean, it still doesn't...
Truly, purely was music back then, and that's all that mattered. So we were like emo, though. Emo, screamo. Early 2000s would have been when I was senior in high school. I graduated high school in 2002. So you had Blink-182 was huge. Green Day was still really big. Like, we went and saw Blink and Green Day together. One of the best shows ever. So Green Day opened for Blink-182.
One of the best shows I've ever seen. I'll put it right there with Nirvana. Well, I saw REM. You don't hear about them anymore. They were awesome. Yeah, I think Love Tractor opened for them or something.
Never listened.
But Beastie Boys opening for Run DMC. So
that'd be a cool one.
Let's get back to...
I like Beastie Boys.
I love Beastie Boys.
I'll just say...
I rank them right up there with Nirvana.
Metallica.
Run DMC I love.
Metallica would have been the best concert I've ever been to, and I've seen Metallica a lot. But I would say...
Sounds like we need a rock and roll podcast.
We're going to just talk about it right now.
I mean, MTV doesn't have videos anymore.
You're even allowed to talk about rock and roll on MTV?
I don't think so. The Real World, they invented reality TV, and that's all it is. I haven't watched MTV in 20 years.
I used to watch The Challenge. Like, that would have been my most recent show. MTV's The Challenge. But no, Metallica probably, not their Saint Anger, whatever album come after that. That tour would have been probably my favorite. Motley Crue puts on a really good show. Kiss puts on probably one of the best, like performance-wise, theatrical shows.
I saw Kiss.
Puts on a good one. And that's a cool. Their music sucks. I mean, standalone Kiss music is not good. I don't even think Kiss fans think it's good. I'm a huge Kiss fan.
It's an amazing concert to go see visually.
Kiss stuff all over the walls. The Rock the Nation tour 2004. I mean, I've seen Kiss a lot. Eric Church, as a country fan of country music, or what country music I do like at least, Eric Church puts on the best country music show. I've seen him twice. And what makes a good concert for me is crowd interaction. So if I feel like me being there made your show better, if you can make me feel that way, then it's been a good show. I'll actually come back and see you. Godsmack. Even if you're not into metal or heavy rock or whatever you want to call Godsmack, they put on a show that requires the crowd. And their lead singer, Sully, and, he interacts with the crowd the whole night. And so you wouldn't have that show without the crowd.
So what band's playing at Texas?
I have no idea.
Know?
No.
I'm going to rope us back into NASCAR.
All right, go ahead. Let's just jump back into your reviews.
Because we're too passionate about our music, too.
It's our podcast. We can talk about whatever the hell we want to talk
You're
about,
right.
Whenever the hell we want to talk about it. We're only getting paid 1 cent an episode, so it doesn't really friggin' matter. If we want to talk about music in the middle of the hotel reviews, by God, we can talk about music in the middle of the hotel reviews.
Jeez, I'm not criticizing.
Chill out there,
Calm
Mike Davis.
down, dude.
Chill out, Mike Davis. Good Lord.
Jeez.
All right.
WTF, dude.
All right. Oh, yo.
Michael Jackson. I think that started the whole rabbit hole, didn't it? Let's not start again. Never seen him in concert. Anyway, Michael Jackson gave it a 1 out of 5. He says, I booked my room, pay for it. I get there, it been canceled. Where my money? Then they called the cops, said I was tripping. Hell yes, I want my money. Now, the next one, Valerie Duty. This is the most weird,
Duty,
unrelated to a hotel review in the world, and they responded and thanked her for it, which they don't read reviews. They just saw she gave him a 4 out of 5. This is still the Oyo. Valerie P. Duty, of the same age, and you will get the job done by your doctor when it is goes for the next few months of being in your life in the morning, or the same age when they are going into it. And then you will not work for the first thing to do it, and they can be the same age and the other one will have the time or experience. You are not the same thing. You can eat it again, and you are getting to the next year, or a child or family is the most attention. You can do it in a relationship that has a great idea for your kids in your home, if your life or something like it, but I think the same age as you. So what the hell? What the hell, Valerie?
And this is why
this is the Oyo. But then they reply, "Hi, Valerie.
Hi.
We are grateful that you took the time to leave us this note. Customer satisfaction is our top priority, and if we look forward to serving you, do reach out to us at guestsupport.na@oyorooms.com for any further suggestions or queries that you may have. Do visit our website /app to find the best hotels in. We look forward to host you at Oyo Hotel Fort Worth East Gateway Ballpark again. Regards, Team Oyo." Wow. They didn't read it, dude.
Yeah, there's no way.
So
they didn't read that review like you read that review.
No,
they added punctuation in their mind.
What the hell?
Instead,
I don't think they read that review. That's BS.
Well, it's just like any other hotel that responds. It's a BS response. They've got 16 response pre-written. They just copy and paste.
So my theory is Oyo's worse than Wyndham.
Oyo, right.
If Wyndham would be an upgrade if you leave the Oyo.
I think you're right there, Sunshine.
So now we got Wyndham Plus by Nina Finster. She gave it a 1 out of 5. When we two William, I mean, bleh, that other one's just got me tongue-tied. When we, two women, two middle-aged girls, first arrived.
Is that 4 people?
It's 4.
Okay.
It was around midnight. Upon arrival, we saw a man angrily pacing around the parking lot with a metal pipe. First red flag.
First one.
We proceed to drive around to the other side of the U-shaped parking lot where our room is. When we try to unlock our door, it flickers green, but it's still locked. We assume it's just broken, but then we hear someone flip the swing guard. We go back to the front office and are given a new room near the front office. As we're unloading our belongings, we are approached by a man in a wheelchair with a 40 in his lap. Now, is that 40 ounces or a 40 caliber Glock?
This is Texas, so I would think it's a gun.
Asking if we had any hard drugs or knew of anywhere to get some. He said, I'll eat some cooter for $20. We kindly said no. Wow, dude. Really?
Only in Texas.
I don't think that's Cousin Cooter the mechanic.
Only in Texas do you use cooter.
And she was polite. We kindly said no.
We kindly declined.
He left and we got into the room. The room was incredibly dirty and falling apart. There was mold in the bathroom, a hole in the ceiling, red-brown drops and crusty bits in the tub. There was a white substance covering the bottom of the entertainment center where the refrigerator was kept, and the bottom of the refrigerator door itself. There were smudges, red, black, and brown, all over the wall, next to the bed, as well as scattered smudges elsewhere. We went to use the room phone to complain and requested a refund, but it wasn't connected. So they requested the refund before they realized it wasn't connected?
Yep. Hello.
There wasn't even a telephone wire. It was merely a prop. I have pictures that I wish I could post here, but we'll do so elsewhere. On the plus side, if you want drugs or a hooker, male or female, walking or in a wheelchair, you'd give this place 5 stars, but it's not my thing, so I 1-starred it. My mill, I don't know what that means, mill.
Mother-in-law.
Oh, there you go. Goes to the office and is rudely denied a refund, but offered a 3rd room. We tried to accept so much because it was half after midnight, the day before my husband's basic military graduation, and we still had 4 hours to drive. We ultimately declined and left. For $8 more, we got a very satisfactory room that was 10 minutes closer to our destination. Bottom line, do not stay here. It's not satisfactory. Even for the price, cleanliness is the standard, not a price-based luxury.
So we got a dude in a wheelchair carrying around a 40, looking for hard drugs, volunteering to eat cooter.
And these people seem very polite. They said no.
All righty.
They declined.
That's the first, man. I'm just going to say.
So, I'm not a female, and I'm not trying to be one, but this dude, I'm assuming it's a 40-ounce malt liquor, cruising around in a wheelchair saying, for $20, I'll eat your cooter.
That's just a bad sales.
What the hell?
Oh,
they must have been attracted, and he thought, I'm pretty hot myself. He thought he was Tom Selleck in a wheelchair. Thought he could earn $20 for eating a cooter.
Had that mustache?
Yeah. Hey, baby.
I doubt it.
I'll eat your cooter for $20.
I doubt he looked like Tom Selleck.
It sounds like the dude that came out of the hole in Bristol.
Yeah. Where are we going next?
We're done.
All right.
That's it. That's all I got.
All right, we're going to Texas Motor Speedway. It is a 1.5-mile quad oval, 20 degrees in turns 1 and 2, 24 degrees of banking in turns 3 and 4. Asphalt track. It'll seat 112,000. I doubt that many show up. I'm going to say probably about
12.
I was going to give it 15,000 show up. It's owned by SMI. First opened in 1996. The race is September 25th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's on USA Network and PRN Radio. Exciting stuff, huh? I knew you
I'm
were.
not very excited about it. I bet you the reason they're going to go to North Wilkesboro is because more people show up to that than show up to Texas Motor Speedway.
There was more people at North Wilkesboro for the cars race than the All-Star race had. All right, Kyle Busch has 31 starts here, 4 wins, 18 top 10s. Kevin Harvick has 37 starts, 3 wins, and 24 top 10s. Denny Hamlin has 31 starts, 3 wins, and 14 top 10s. Larson has 14 starts, 1 win, and 5 top 10s. Joey Logano has 26 starts, 1 win, and 14 top 10s. On other 1.5 oval tracks that I would consider similar to Texas would be Vegas, where Alex Bowman won earlier this year. Kansas, Kurt Busch and Bubba Wallace won there. Ryan Blaney won the All-Star race here earlier this season while holding his window net up. I think Daniel Suarez won the All-Star Open, if I'm not mistaken. Denny Hamlin won the Coke 600 at Charlotte, and Chase Elliott won at Nashville. Those were all wins in the next-gen car.
So who you going to pick?
I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson, and this next pick is dead serious. Cody Ware.
Well, he did finish in the top 20, didn't he, at Bristol?
Look,
17.
These are becoming races of attrition. Cody Ware, if he can keep from hitting the wall and wrecking himself, he's liable to luck up and win one of these races because everybody else is falling apart and wrecked out. I mean, he finished, 17th this week. He's not running. They don't have to push their car to the edge like everybody else is. They just got to qualify and finish the race. I mean, I'm not saying he's not trying. He's trying, and he's running in the best of his ability and to the best of that car's ability. You know what I want to see? I want to see Cody Ware in a Junior Motorsports car.
Well, we could, I mean,
So
he's got great equipment.
I'm going down a rabbit hole before you even make your picks.
Well, I'll make my picks. I'm going to go Ryan Blaney, my first pick.
All right.
Second pick, Brad Keselowski.
He almost messed around and won it.
Then I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch.
Ain't no way Kyle Busch wins.
Now, my bet is his car blows up.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
If his car doesn't blow up, his power steering is going to go out for sure.
Coach is going to say, hey, only give him like a gallon of antifreeze in the radiator.
Put nothing in it.
Yeah. Just
let him get through qualifying.
Put in the same motor that you had at Bristol.
Yeah.
Just let him blow up the first lap.
Set his car up for Talladega at Texas.
Yeah, why not?
Or Martinsville. Use the Martinsville package. Better yet, put him in an Xfinity car or an ARCA car.
Yeah, why not?
There's no way. I don't know. I think Coach Gibbs is not going to let him go out and win a race. Not at this point. So, all right. That's all I got. You got anything else?
I got a saying. My grandfather, Shirley, Grandpa Shirley, he's from Georgia.
Oh, sure.
He used to tell me.
Yep.
He said, Jamie, nothing accidentally goes up your butt.
Oh, yeah.
That's some farmer wisdom there, buddy.
Oh, Lord. All right. Thanks to everyone who follows the show, shares us on social media, listens each week. We greatly appreciate it. Make sure you check us out on Spotify and rate us. Follow us on Twitter. We're at Car Backwards. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. And check out our website. It's racecarbackwards.com. That's all I got for you. Thanks, everybody.
What's our next podcast? We Like Music?
Yeah, it might as well be. All right, guys.
We'll see you.
Have a good one. Thanks for listening to a race car spelled backwards.